rounds of boxing for the IBA Junior Lightweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing leopard print and weighing in at 129 1/2 pounds. He brings a professional record to the ring, an outstanding one consisting of 34 victories, 25 knockouts, only 3 losses with 1 draw. He comes to us from Musaka, Uganda. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the challenger, Justin, the Ugandan Destroyer Juco. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing camouflage and weighing in at 130 pounds. He brings a perfect professional record into this ring, consisting of 31 bouts, 31 victories, including 25 knockouts. From Sacramento, California, ladies and gentlemen, presenting the undefeated junior lightweight champion of the world, Diego Chico Corrales.
Everybody out, one person. One person, everybody out.
Good luck.
Everybody out. Look it. I told you what your responsibilities are. I explained to you what my responsibility is. Let's all do our job. Good luck.
You're going to take a look at one of the rising stars in the sport, in Diego Corrales, against a tough, well-conditioned, prepared journeyman fighter who can make something of himself here. In fact, Jim, when we were in London for the Prince Ahmed fight, Juco was over there and he came to me and said, you know, I've heard about this Acelina Freitas, an undefeated fighter from Brazil who at that time was 25-0 with 25 knockouts. Nobody wanted to fight him. He says, I'll fight him. Well, he's got Diego Corrales, Chico Corrales right here in front of him. And that's even more of an assignment.
Juco has become, I'd say the 3rd most famous boxer in the history of his nation of Uganda, behind only Cornelius Boza Edwards and John the Beast Mugabe.
Juco has got a box. Boxing was invented for the inferior. Take advantage of a superior, big-sized guys. You got to be skillful in there. You just can't waste motions. You can't go toe-to-toe. Just outbox your opponent round after round, jabbing and moving out of the way. Good jab by Juco, straight up the middle. Corrales with a right-hand shot to the body. Watch for the lightning quickness of Corrales' left hand, particularly when he gets a chance to counter with it. 2 good quick left hooks by Corrales, and Juco backs up. Corrales' job is to just fight. Hit him every time you hit him, make it hurt. Make Juco back away and not want to box. Just defend himself.
Juco very relaxed in there, smooth fighter. Corrales going to the body early in the fight.
That's what you want to do when you're fighting a boxer. Go to the body to make certain his legs give out on him. He can't give you angles. He can't move left. He can't move right. You got to stay there in front of you.
The subtext in all Diego Corrales fights now is, how would he do against Floyd Mayweather Jr.? Because that sets itself up now as the fight of the division sometime within the next year or so.
Juco was able to step in between and jabbing. That's the second left jab there. He steps right between put his left foot right in the middle of Juco's and beat him to the jab. That's what you want to do.
And it's a good
right
hard
hand
jab
by Juco too, and that time he landed a kind of overhand right. One of the differences at this point between Corrales and Mayweather Jr. is that Corrales is certainly the easier of the 2 to hit. Part of that is that he makes himself available. He's arrogant. He doesn't mind taking a little leather to give a little leather, but he does leave himself open to the possibility of one big shot, although probably not from an opponent like Juco.
Well, when you're a puncher, you take a lot of chances because you know you can end it anytime you want. Juco doesn't have the height advantage, but he knows how to jab. Steps right in the middle of his hands, Chico's hand, and jabs him. Quick jab.
So Juco with a good professional first round has landed his jab, got in one chopping right hand,
but no cut.
has weathered some left hands from Corrales, and this was a pretty close first frame.
So they had a thumb, no cut.
Okay, it's no cut yet.
Referee Marty Denkin taking a look at Corrales' right eye after Corrales complained that he was thumbed in the eye. There's Miguel Diaz, a hot trainer in the sport, who works as the cut man and chief second,
Move to your right,
or rather second in command, I should say, in Corrales' corner.
Bring the feno. All the way over here.
The trainer is Corrales' stepdad, who he calls his dad, Ray Woods, the man with the ice pack on the back of Corrales' neck. So they're allowing Diaz to do the talking.
Have the jab on. You find him. Find him with the jab first. Okay. Okay, every time you get a chance to dig that right hand up under there.
Here's where their heads clashed, and a lump rose over the right eye of Corrales.
That's it. There you go.
Nothing to worry about now, but it's something to watch.
Good jab.
Juco won the jabbing contest in round one. If a jabbing contest it was, he was 10 of 35 to 4 of 20 for Corrales. But Corrales landed more punches and got his left hook into the body several times.
Juco's got to make certain he doesn't try to outbox a boxer. You got to fight a boxer. Chico, I'm sorry, should make certain he doesn't box.
Juco lands another hard right hand through the center of Corrales' guard.
When you stand back, as Chico is doing, jabbing and waiting, then you automatically lose rounds. You got to put the power on him and keep the power on him.
There you go. Come on, stick it. There you go. Follow it up.
And again, Juco is able to split Corrales' guard with his right hand. So Justin Juco is enjoying some early successes against Diego Chico Corrales.
It's all because of the left jab. Gets the right distance and stepped right in between his hands.
Right hand to the cheek of Corrales by Juco. Diego hasn't really gotten his left hook going in this round. There's a little left hook to the body, and it sets up a combination for Corrales. 2 more body shots.
Corrales throws a good combination, then he steps back as if to say, now you want one? He doesn't keep his hand up. You got to step around after you finish. Juco is taking advantage of it. Even if it's a simple left jab, he does something after Chico finishes.
What do you mean by step around, George?
Well, you don't want to be in front of a guy. Once you throw your punches, if you're not going to throw another shot, go to the side. Go one side or another, but don't stand there and wait because he's going to hit you back.
Straight right hand upstairs by Juco. Corrales with another left hook to the body. We're going to find out if Juco can take it to the body because that's where Chico is focusing his attack. And now he begins to move Juco backward with the left hook.
1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2.
There you go.
Big reaching right hand across the top by Juco. There's another right hand landing to the side of Corrales' head.
Juco is doing a good job, but you don't want to get into a slugging match with a slugger. That's what Chico is. He's a slugger. Corrales can punch.
Don't wait for him. There you go. Stick and move. Stick and move. Get inside. Get inside. Hands up. Hands up.
Well, all week long, reporters here have looked for signs that Shane Mosley is going to crack under the pressure of his first big mega fight, and Mosley has been laughing, smiling like that all week, basking in the glow of attention that goes with this fight. If ever a fighter has looked thoroughly comfortable at his first mega event, it is that man right there, and he arrived at 6:22, 36 minutes after Oscar De La Hoya had come to Staples Center. And if you're De La Hoya and you're looking at that screen, you're probably thinking, I'm going to knock that smile off your face. I'm tired of looking at it. because Shane has been grinning like this for days.
Well, boxers put on tricky faces like that. That's what they are, tricky.
Okay? Stay there till the bell rings. Those feints are working good. Now keep this guy reaching with the feints. You hear me, son? Okay. Every combination off to the side, but make sure you keep those hands up. All right? Let's go, son.
By CompuBox numbers, round 2 was a good one for Diego Corrales, who landed 36 of 72 punches. A good one for Justin Juco, who landed 28 out of 64. Together, they combined to land 64 punches, 54 of them power shots, according to CompuBox Eyes in round 2.
Corrales gets all his power from the uppercut type punches, hooks. So you don't want to bend down if you're Juco. Stay straight as much as you can. Get out of the way or stay straight. Don't
the outside edge of Corrales' right eye is beginning to swell, and Corrales continues to take straight right hands from Justin Juco without putting up his left hand to block him, because he wants to keep his left hand low and attack with it.
Corrales is going viciously to the body.
Another good right hand by Juco. Corrales has been relatively there to be hit in most of his fights. For a tall, thin guy, he's unusual in how well he seems to take a punch. Never see him take many steps backwards.
When you look at how he persists in holding the left hand down and using it to attack like that and taking right hands, you might keep in mind that Floyd Mayweather likes to set up his attack with straight right hand leads.
Corrales is starting to use the left jab a little bit. You don't want that from a big guy.
Why not?
You shut down Juco's every motion. His only hope is that he didn't jab.
So if Corrales begins to stick the jab and dominate with it, Juco is going to have trouble finding answers.
Oh, there's nothing left for him.
Oh, hard left to the body, good left hook upstairs. Juco comes back with a right hand. Corrales not fazed by Juco's power, and Chico is beginning to really chop to Justin Juco's body. And there was a hard right hand upstairs by Corrales.
Followed by a nice left, originated by a left jab by Corrales.
Blood on the left eye of Juco, and Corrales begins to attack it with the right hand.
It's that jab. Once you start working that thing, ooh.
Another hard right. And already Juco is saying to himself, this man can punch.
He's tasting it. And once the left jab started to come from Corrales, it's a different fight.
Corrales Mayweather will be something of a 130-pound Hearns Leonard. With Corrales in the role of the Motor City Hitman, look at his height in that division. And Mayweather, so many skills in common with Leonard. His quickness, his combination punching.
Now Juco is making a mistake. You don't want to slow this guy. Even if you hit him, you're in the range to be hit back. Box.
Break. Time. You got a punch.
You may notice that on those trunks, there are 9 sets of initials. Most of them are for close relatives and friends of Corrales who died young, including a 4-year-old cousin who was murdered by his father. Corrales has a mother and father who are civic workers in Sacramento, but he went through some rough times in the streets when he was a teenager, and that's reflected in those initials.
And you see the CompuBox numbers for round 3. Diego Corrales in that round landed 35 of 66 power shots, and his left hook is starting to work the way he wants it to.
One thing I notice about Juco is that his legs seem much fresher than they did when he fought Mayweather on short notice.
He's in much better shape this time around. Hey, Harold, how'd you score through the first three?
Okay, Jim, 30-27, 3-0, Diego Corrales. You know, Chico Corrales fights tall. He stands straight up. But I tell you, he don't jab. All he throws is hooks, real good power shots. He's hurting Justin Juco. Juco realizes that the only way to hit a guy who hurt him standing straight up is to go over the top with the right hand. But he only throws one punch at a time. So it's all Corrales so far.
I have it 2-1 for Corrales.
Triple left hook by Corrales.
Also.
Yeah, I think Juco might have gotten the second round, but
the judge is better than we are, you know.
Harold's been nothing but great these last several years. There's a low blow by Juco. Marty Denkin says keep him up. Corrales barely flinched.
Still no jab from Corrales. Backs off his jab. After he sets up everything, he stops jabbing.
Well, his bread and butter is the hook, and he wants the hand to be in position to hook.
Yeah, but at some point or another, you're going to reach some power to power, and you're going to need a jab to get you out of trouble.
Well, for instance, Floyd Mayweather Jr., he would want to jab some if he's going to win that fight.
Yeah, to hook off the jab, to establish the jab so that you can then throw the hook when your opponent is looking for the jab.
Yeah, because so far what he likes to do is hook off the hook.
Right.
And then hook again.
Throws one jab, Corrales. Juco is pretty much trying to stay alive now. He's using strictly defense. This is what Corrales wanted him to do in the first round. Just defend yourself. Don't try to hit me.
Pick it up.
Body.
Marty Dinkins, he's the second best referee in the world. Next to that one in Vegas.
Joe Cortez.
Joe Cortez.
Joe Cortez is your choice as the number one in the world.
Well, I need to see more of Dinkins, then I can rank him too.
That would mean more fights in California, and I'm all for it, George.
The job of the referee is to say what you're going to say, do it with authority, and move out of the way. And this is what these two referees do.
Marty Denkin with some scathing quotes in the newspaper this morning. He had to referee an atrocity of a mismatch between Laila Ali and a 48-year-old grandmother 2 nights ago. And he said that he was embarrassed at having to be in the ring as those two women fought because it was so obvious that the grandmother had a chance to be badly hurt. In the 1 minute 7 seconds she spent with Laila. And there goes Juco off a brilliant left hook by Corrales.
It was a delayed reaction.
It's an accumulation of blows.
7, 8, 9.
Boy, he didn't want to get up. He did not want to get up.
That seemed like a clear decision to go down and take a blow.
I agree. Look at how wobbly his legs are as he goes back to the corner. Let's check in quickly with Nick Charles and a special guest.
Special guest Dustin Hoffman's here with his son Jake. Dustin, you're a big fight fan. What drew you to this fight, though, in particular?
Well, my lawyer represents De La Hoya, so I was able to get tickets with my son Jake.
You weren't going to pay the $49.95?
No.
Jake, here's a silly question. What do you?
This is his first fight.
First fight? What are you majoring in school?
Film school.
Why are we not surprised? If your son came to you and said, I want to be an actor or a boxer, I can't make up my mind, what are you going to tell him?
Boxer there's a chance that you won't urinate blood for the rest of your life.
Following in my grandpa's footsteps, actually, if I was a boxer.
Really?
My grandpa was a boxer in the Army.
Dustin, if you had to pick a winner here, you got a rooting interest, but let's be objective.
Well, they say in boxing circles that when you move up a weight, it's critical that, you know, to the lay public 5 or 7 pounds isn't a big deal, but it is. And this is only the third fight that Mosley has fought as a welterweight, and perhaps he's never felt the power of a punch that De La Hoya is going to deliver. And I think how he responds to that will determine the fight.
Well, enjoy the night. Thank you, fellas. Let's go back to you, Jim.
All right, and it sounds like Dustin is priming himself to take over your chair, George.
Oh, yeah, he's the graduate.
10-8 round, the last round for Corrales on Harold Letterman's card. The knockdown toward the end of the round, and Juco still having trouble holding his footing against Corrales' power shots, particularly the ones to the body.
He's showing a little bit of physical resilience right here early in the round, because he was hurt when he walked back to his corner.
Now with Corrales, he has the guy hurt. Juco is hurt, backing up on his toes. How do you finish? You got to put that jab out there at some point.
Well, step one is you walk the man down, and in doing that, Corrales is relentless. He cuts off the ring, he comes forward.
But you catch a lot just walking without a jab. Step left, step right, throw a shot.
As he backs into a corner, Juco looks weary in round 5. For reasons of its own, the so-called governing body, which markets the belt held by Corrales, decided not to sanction this as a title fight.
Well, the reason was that Juco wasn't ranked in their rankings, but he is a legitimate opponent.
Yes, and Corrales, the champion, fought their mandatory against Derek Gainer sooner than he absolutely had to. So if anybody deserved a break from the so-called governing body, it would have been this guy. But nevertheless, they don't sanction the fight. However, if he were to lose it, the title would become vacant.
But on the other hand, he didn't have to pay a sanction fee, which is rare. Because these sanctioning mobs extort money to sanction championship fights.
Oscar De La Hoya stating flat out that he would not pay his longtime governing body sponsors, the WBC, their full sanctioning fee for this fight, and they could like it or leave it. De La Hoya edging closer to the notion that his market power is so strong, titles don't mean anything.
Juco mentioned he's a good fighter, that he couldn't just leave Africa and get a nice home in Vegas and forget about his family. Making his home in his native country.
Well, he's a prince there.
He's a prince in the Gonda tribe. So he can get a nice house in Vegas, or he can live like a prince in Masaka.
You got him there.
Not sure what I'd do.
Well, when you got family members that you're responsible for, that is a prince.
Larry, let's look back at a replay of that knockdown toward the end of round 4 when Juco seemed to choose to go down.
Well, he chose it because he was hit with some vicious left hooks and a right on the top of the head. That was the left hook that seemed to discombobulate him. And while the other left hook was coming, he decided to take a blow.
Okay? Okay, now, here. Now, I want you to throw in some punches with some conviction out there like you mean it, okay? You throw him hard, son, okay? All right? This guy's right in front of you. You can get off, okay? All right? You're just going through motions right now, all right? I want you firing your shots up, son, okay? Let's go to work, all right? Now, Justin, put that jab to the belly, come over top of the right hand, all right?
You hear what Freddie said? Do it.
You heard the voice of Freddie Roach, one of the good young trainers in the game. Unfortunately, Juco doesn't have much of a punch to follow his instructions.
Well, a boxer like Juco, you got to time it so this guy runs into your right hand, which will give you more power. That's what he's not doing. He's reaching in. Just let him come to you. Don't reach in.
That's a good point. If he could get Corrales to walk into his right hand, then maybe he could do some damage.
See, he doesn't reach in. Although you're landing, there's not much. You got to have power to do that. When they come to you, their head is the power.
Although he's taken some good-looking right hands from Juco, Corrales has treated them as a minor annoyance. Continuing to come forward, continuing to punish Justin Juco to the body. Under then over, under then over. That's the Diego Corrales battle plan. And at this point, Juco is throwing punches as much as anything to try to keep Corrales occupied.
Yeah, he's going to the body, so he's trying to make sure his feet are, when he goes to top shots, that Juco's feet are planted, not moving.
So great to see a 22-year-old fighter so disciplined about going to the body.
Yeah.
He's a pro.
Good job. Juco is landing some good slaps. Jabs to the face. Right
Here's
hand.
the straight right hand again. Good right hand again by Juco.
Well, sometimes you say to yourself, look, this guy's supposed to beat me a couple rounds. I'm still here. I may as well do something. He's been knocked out, so he may as well fight. And that's what he's saying to himself.
He's a real fighter.
I think Juco's having a good round. Junior lightweight division is one of the hot divisions in the game. Floyd Mayweather Jr. regarded as the premier fighter in this class. There's Corrales, Joel Casamayor, the former gold medalist from Cuba, and that youngster Arcelino Freitas from Brazil, who is 26-0 with 26 KOs.
Muhammad Ali entering the arena, and thus the huge response from the crowd. And the chant begins. Ali accompanied by, I think that was one of his daughters.
Yeah, a couple of them, I think.
Couple of them, I think, yeah. Well, almost certainly wife Lonnie nearby, and you would expect to see the illustrious Howard Bingham somewhere in the area, Ali's best friend. Going to round 7 of a scheduled 12. Harold Letterman, how do you have it through 6?
Okay, Jim, 5-1, 59-54, Diego Corrales. You got to give Diego an extra point for the knockdown in round 4. But I got to tell you, Jim, in an awful lot of his fights, he just takes a round off, and that's what he did in round 6. There's no way Chico Corrales won round 6. Justin Juco landed all the punches, and Corrales stood there and took them. So surprising that Diego Corrales really landing great left hooks all of a sudden stops fighting.
Seeing Ali, I'm reminded, Jim and George, that Neil Leifer, the famous photographer from Sports Illustrated, who took the great fight photo of Ali standing over Liston in their second fight, is here to shoot the main event.
Isn't that something? I hate the guy because he took the shot of Muhammad standing over.
Did he take a shot of Muhammad standing over you?
He always
I'm looking up. Neil Leifer, I hate him.
He always seems to be on the right side of the ring. I mean, there are 4 choices, but he's always at the right spot.
Well, and if you're aware of and familiar with the photograph that Larry was mentioning, Lewis standing over Liston in Lewiston, Maine, and screaming, or I should say Ali standing over Liston in Lewiston, Maine, and screaming, "Get up, get up." You get a chance to look at that photo sometimes. Go to the V between Ali's legs and look into the second row of the press corps, and you will find a very young Larry Merchant staring at the action with his jaw dropped in utter disbelief.
Well, like everybody else, I was stunned when Liston went down. A couple of minutes into the first round.
So given the composition of the photograph, Larry, I can't tell if it's the greatest fight photo of all time or just a poorly focused picture of you.
That's what my mother said.
And Corrales is starting to use the left jab now. Understands that this guy's just not going to be knocked out. Now you're going to have to set it all up, jab him.
I think you made a good point, George. I think that maybe Corrales thought that Juco was going, and that he would find a spot to finish off what he did in the 4th round when he knocked him down. but Juco has shown resilience. His legs are back, fighting a good, smart, tough fight.
Much to be said about both fighters here. And as the round ends, we go to Shane Mosley's dressing room to listen to live instructions from the main event referee.
Okay, Sugar Shane, I'm ready. Are you? Okay, watch those heads inside. No rabbit punches, no kidney punches. The warning is now. Keep him up at all times. If you knock him down, don't hit him when he's down, and I'll send you to a corner. Wherever I send you, stay there until I ask you to come out. Because I guarantee I'm going to turn around and see you. If you're out of your corner celebrating, I'm going to stop the count and take my time, okay? Want to fight against the ropes? No problem. But if I see you take punishment, I'm going to say, Sugar, get out of there, get out of there. If you don't respond, I'm going to stop the fight. I'm going to stay away from you. I'm going to give you just voice commands, but listen to my command. I respect you as a fighter. You're a true champion, and I expect you to listen to what I tell you. Any questions?
No questions.
Okay. Good luck to you. See you in there.
All right. Okay. Thanks a lot.
Okay. See you there.
Referee Lou Moret giving the instructions, and Shane Mosley wearing the much coveted red hot KO Nation t-shirt. Call a t-shirt broker in your neighborhood soon to get one.
It's a good show, KO Nation.
Is it on HBO, George?
Oh, Harold Letterman's daughter is the judge.
Julie Letterman. Round 8 of a scheduled 12. Justin Juco showing his great professionalism, his courage, his dedication as he hangs in and makes it a fight against the multi-talented Diego Corrales.
Corrales had a chance to finish this fight off when he knocked him down. The second round, he didn't come out for the finish. Now, Juco has decided, I'm going to be here for a while, and I can make this guy extend himself. Going to make a fight out of it now.
Diego Corrales, in his 31-fight career, has gone past the 7th only 4 times, and he's had only 1 knockout past the 7th round. And part of the yardstick we're looking at here is, of course, that Juco went into the 9th round with Mayweather last year. So if he lasts the distance against Corrales, then some people will say, well, there's a mark that Mayweather should be favored over Corrales. But Juco will point out that he was in much better shape tonight than he was a year ago when he took the fight against Mayweather on extremely short notice.
Somewhere in this exchange, Corrales landed a right to the body and a right uppercut, but here comes Juco right back in his face and in his body.
And landed a big left hook and came back with another flush left hook moments later.
Juco has expelled a lot of his energy on power shots in the earlier rounds. So this fight goes for a couple more rounds. Juco can really take over because Morales, like I said, has been sprinting for the last 6-7 rounds. Doesn't have a whole lot left.
Corrales with an uppercut and a quick little right inside. Rocked Juco back momentarily, but Justin has had a brilliant rally over the course of the last 2 rounds. And they're shouting in Uganda, where Justin Juco says the whole nation will be up live at 4 o'clock in the morning to watch him fight against Corrales.
Juco got pretty brave that time. He told Corrales to come on, come on.
Now the referee said stop the talking. Is there a rule against talking?
Yeah, you don't want that in the boxing ring. Yeah, this is a sport. It's a gentleman's sport.
It is?
We try to keep all of the... Oh, yeah.
I just learned something.
Oh, yeah. You want to keep it clean. Next thing you know, a guy's kicking the other. Something wrong, or he bites the other. You want to keep it clean.
Next in the ring, the moment that Larry Merchant is waiting for, Eric Butterbean Esch will be on to continue his rewriting of the 4-round record book, this time against Kerry Biles. Butterbean has had 58 fights. He'll be in his 59th today. Kerry Biles has had 3. He'll be in his 4th today.
Yeah. Now, listen to me, Justin. See how you fought that guy? All right, he's all done. He's tired. You got to back him up. The thing is to be pushed. You cannot wait on him. You can't handle him.
You get this bomb out of here.
He lost the last round. We lost the last round. We don't win the fight completely.
Just pick it up.
You never know what's happening. Come on. Let's go, baby.
And you saw the abrasion under the right eye of Diego Corrales as Miguel Diaz worked on the right eye and also told Corrales, you lost the last round. You don't know what could be happening here. Pick it up.
I've given 3 of the 8 rounds to Juco. Might have won a 4th.
Means the fight may not be entirely out of reach for him.
Well, and there's a 2-point round for Corrales, but, you know, the fight's still there to be won.
And Juco is the expert at this point in the latter rounds. A bit more of experience with top guys. Pull some tricks. The power is still with Corrales.
Take it down. One more time.
Slip, over the foot. Come on.
Slip.
Flip.
Correct call.
It's all right.
Huh? Juco is saying that he might have turned his ankle a little bit.
It was May 22 last year. Justin Juco accepted the 9th round KO bye from Floyd Mayweather in Las Vegas. Now a year and almost a month later, Juco giving a better account of himself against Diego Corrales.
Corrales is trying to keep it close. Use his weight, lean down that long body on this guy's shoulder.
The perfect example of how he doesn't use his reach, George.
No, I mean, Juco is close. He's trying to stay close.
Well, that's the point I'm making. He doesn't use his reach. He fights like a 5'8" fighter.
Yeah, at this point, you want to stay close and use your top-heavy shoulders. Lean on the guy. It's going into some new territory for you.
A minute to go in this round, and Juco is taking a lot of punishment.
At this point, it's Juco who needs room to throw that overhand right. So Corrales should stay close.
What a rally by Justin Juco as he occupies Corrales and backs him up into the ropes.
He shouldn't get away. Corrales should stay close.
Don't hit him in the back.
Left hook, left hook, left hook by Corrales. Right to the body, right uppercut. Left hook by Juco inside. And a right, and a left. And Corrales stops him momentarily with a straight right.
You think we're going to see this in the main event?
I hope so. Alley fight, and Juco starting to wobble again. But he's had an excellent round. Corrales landed a lot of himself. Good fight. And now let's go to Oscar De La Hoya's locker room to listen to instructions there.
Okay, Oscar, you ready? I have great respect for you, fighter. I did your first fight. This is the biggest fight yet. Watch your heads inside, kidney punches. Warning is now. If you knock him down, don't hit him when he's down. If you're not sure, don't swing. But I'll send you to a corner. It's a clean knockdown. I'll tell you to stay there. I'm going to look around and count. If you're out, I'm going to stop, and you're going to lose your advantage. So stay until I ask you to come out. Okay. Other than that, I'm going to give you voice commands. Please follow whatever I say and listen to my commands. Any questions?
No questions.
Okay, good luck to you. See you in there.
Thank you.
So now you know that on November 23, 1992, Lou Moret refereed Oscar De La Hoya's professional debut against Lamar Williams at the Forum in Inglewood. CompuBox numbers in a rousing round 9. Corrales landed 49 out of 85. Juco 34 out of 79. 81 power punches landed between the two fighters. Harold, how do you have it now?
Okay, Jim. 87-83, 6 rounds to 3. Diego Corrales. I'll tell you something, Jim. I'll bet a wrench that Diego Corrales hurt one of his hands in the 5th round, because since then he's fighting differently. The power is not there, and he's sort of slapping him. He's definitely got a bad hand. I don't know which one, but he's fighting a different fight. Juco, on the other hand, taking advantage, coming in and scoring well. As far as Larry and the talking goes, it comes under unsportsmanlike conduct, Larry. It's a broad, general term that does not allow unsportsmanlike conduct, so Marty Denkin told him no talking.
Thank you.
Blood flowing freely now from the left eye of Justin Juco.
Well, I haven't seen the different fight, and I can't tell which hand is hurting.
Well, he hurt his right hand against Robert Garcia, and it bothered him again in the fight against John Brown in December. So he has a history of difficulty with the right hand.
Corrales keeps the fight close. When he's in close range, he does better. He backs away for a break. That's when he starts catching Juco's shots. I like that he's staying close, going to the body, going to the head when he wants to.
He gets good leverage on his punches inside. Yeah. There's a right hand shot to the jaw of Juco and another one.
He gives a little range and Juco gets courage and takes advantage of it.
Juco is taking some really hard shots here.
Oh, these are tough fights to recover from.
And who knows whether they're offering the full truth or hiding something so that their fighter does not come into jeopardy here. But Miguel Diaz and Ray Woods in Corrales' corner just told our stage manager that you're wrong, Harold, there's nothing wrong with his hand. Now, I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm saying they said there's nothing wrong with his hand.
Hands up, hands up, hands up.
Juco cannot take much more of this, I don't believe.
He's getting tired again.
And he's getting hit some terrible punches here.
So Marty Denkin watching closely as Diego Corrales stalks Justin Juco around the... And now Marty Denkin's going to stop it right now. And Corrales will get the TKO victory in round 10. Very similar to what Mayweather was able to do with Juco.
Juco fought a brave fight, was in great condition, took some really hard shots, took a tremendous battering early in that round. Corrales showed what he's made of as well.
George, your take on Diego Corrales?
He's a good fighter. He's got all of the tools. He just got to learn how to fight his fight and to stick to one style or the other. I think it would be a good fight, as you mentioned, with the big boy.
With Mayweather. Mayweather's speed and quickness against Corrales' punching power and height and range.
Juco punching back to the very end, but that may have been the one that led to the one. Right there. Too much. Too much Diego Corrales.
One punch after another, it just starts to go the other side.
One widely held expert opinion regarding the main event is that Shane Mosley, for all of his fluidity and hand speed and talent, doesn't have the kind of punching power, punch for punch for punch, that Oscar De La Hoya has. That was part of the big difference here between Corrales and Juco.
You know, Mayweather, to be honest, he's in a class by himself.
He's one of those gifted guys. He's one of those Roy Jones type talents where, you know, you keep looking for somebody who can get in the ring and fight him, but you don't know for sure. Let's go to Michael Buffer for the particulars on the Corrales TKO.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Marty Denkin has to step in and call a halt to the bout. The official time, 2 minutes 35 seconds of round number 10. The winner by knockout victory. He's now 32-0, 26 knockouts from Sacramento, California. He is still the undefeated junior lightweight champion of the world, Diego Chico Corrales.
Almost 10 pretty interesting rounds. Good extended look at one of the rising stars of the sport, 22-year-old Diego Corrales, who landed 116 more punches than Justin Juco and landed with more power, threw 30 more, landed at a 50% connect rate. And of course, you know, that's partially facilitated by the fact that he gets close and repeatedly hammers to the body with his left hook. Scores in the fight were 85-85, 88-82, and 88-82. So Corrales was well ahead, safely ahead on 2 cards, but a third judge had scored the fight even up to the point of the TKO. And now let's go back up to James Brown.
Just spit it right in there. Don't worry about it. Drop your hands. Be sharp. Change your angle. Give him that, hey, come on. And snap your punch.
So you saw the